Alright, so here we are. Here we are. We've got another set from the King of Ireland tournament. I was really sweating this morning. I got up and got all logged into my computer, and I saw that nothing was working. Nobody could download the mod containing the maps anymore. Everybody lost access to the maps. So I submitted a help desk ticket and told these guys to be patient, and if they really had to play their set based on their scheduling, I uploaded the maps temporarily to the Irish server. And it looks like people are doing that. I'm really grateful for the support. So I am pleased to announce that we've got Toota versus OBV Phlegm today. So they're in the 1400s. I think OBV Phlegm is around 1450. And Toota is around 1490-ish, according to the calculations. Here's their Civ draft. Now, the Civ draft doesn't change. So there are enough Civs here as though it were a best of 7 on all 7 maps. So they get 8 picks and then 1 snipe. So as you move along in the tournament, it becomes harder and harder, or it becomes easier and easier to predict what Civs your opponent is going to use. But on the other hand, it gets harder and harder to match an ideal Civ to an ideal map. So the Civ draft will get more difficult. Civ draft will get more difficult as players advance. So let us bring up their games in Capture Age and let's start casting. Now, I saw these and I just couldn't. So here's game 1, Irish Arabia, and let's spectate with Capture Age. I was going to go live in about 40 minutes with a different kind of broadcast, but I saw this come up and was like a kid in a candy shop. You know, I couldn't help myself. These are both players who are not significantly better, but definitely better than I am at Age of Empires, and I wanted to see what they make of the maps. So, as we're loading into Capture Age here, it looks like we've got Arabia. Toota is playing as the Tatars, and OBV Phlegm is playing as the Mongols. So 2 cavalry archer civs. I actually think cavalry archers could be pretty good on this map. And the reason I think that is because the map has very thin wood lines. It rewards people who go into archers, but based on how open it is, mobility is quite important. So if you go into archers initially, like crossbowmen, to peck at the villagers that are on the other side of these wood lines chopping trees, maybe you want to transition into something faster when players start having towers and town centers and castles and stuff like that fortifying their positions. So you can move around and raid the crap out of them. So we got Toota here. Toota is... turn up the volume. There we go, so we can hear it better. Toota is just taking his sheep under the town center. He is in the north. He is playing as the Tatars. And OBV Phlegm down here is playing as the Mongols. Phlegm's boar is actually outside the trees. That's kind of awkward, but it can happen. So his 2 boars are here and here. This one's a little bit tricky to see. He's probably got small trees or something to make it a little bit easier. The boars, of course, have a crater here because boars are pigs and wild pigs like to dig. Maybe he was digging for truffles, who knows. Anyway, so there's a crater here so that if the boar is removed, you can still scout the crater and you can know that you have been lamed. So it'll be interesting to see what these players choose for strategies here, as OBV Phlegm is choosing a I have no fear forward lumber camp. Look at that. This tells me that OBV Phlegm is either not very careful or not very afraid. And I like to think it's because he's not very afraid. So I think OBV Phlegm is going to play super aggressive if he's got this forward lumber camp. Meanwhile, Toota has built a back lumber camp over here. He's sending a 3rd out now. No, he is not. He is building a house. So only 2 on wood. So this is telling me that this is like a lightning scouts build. But he is still trying to get up walls. You know, he's going to have to be careful. Because 2 on wood is pretty meager. Need every last stick. We'll see, though. We'll see. We'll see if these players can do scouts. I only see 3 on wood for Flem, so this is telling me a scouts build. So it's looking like both players are interested in scouts at this point. It'll be interesting to see if they can get in and do damage. I think the general consensus on this map, as OBV Flem is pushing in a deer, I think most people have told me that scouts are not really viable on this map. But what sort of cancels that out or equals that out is, okay, he's already pushed in 1. Nope, he only has 3 deer. What sort of cancels that out is just how open the map is. The map is fantastic for raiding. So this means that scouts are less viable in the early game and much more viable in the late game. It's like we took the power curve for scouts as the game goes on in time, and we shifted it to the right. So scouts are more powerful later game and less powerful early game. Now, what is this over here? Toota, okay, so Toota's going to put up a barracks here. He had 180 wood, so we're putting down a barracks here. Both players have pretty clean builds overall, I'd say. Toota with 10 seconds of town center idle time, and OBV Flem with some really good, only 2 seconds of town center idle time. So OBV Flem is killing it here with the efficiency. As Toota's scout is taking a hit and is down. Oh, that hurts, especially if you're going scouts, to lose your starting scout. But Toota at least knows where the enemy town center is. And he ran right past here, so he's going to know where the... Let's see, he's going to know where the enemy lumber camp is. Yeah, he scouted it. So he knows where the lumber camp is. He knows where the town center is. So he has a good idea of where to go. As OBV Flem has still not walled on this open map. Toota has tried a little bit harder to wall, by at least putting his buildings in these gaps in the circle. Nope, I lied. I lied. It's militia. Militia for Toota. OBV Flem on his way to the feudal age at 20 pop. So this is 20 pop scouts for OBV Flem. Where is the barracks? The barracks has not been built yet. He needs to start building that barracks. There it is. He's going to build it now. As Toota is coming forward with the militia. Now, could OBV Flem have walled this drush out? I think so. I really do. I don't think that this map is that hard to wall initially. In fact, I think it's quite easy. I think it does nerf traditional drushes a little bit. I've seen people do like a 2 militia drush on it. We saw that in ACCM versus Backed. As OBV Flem is small walling here, and Toota denying this barracks. That's very painful. This is very unfortunate. Maybe OBV Flem can use this villager to lead these militia away and then sneak this barracks up while Toota isn't looking. But that's basically a dead vill right there. And that's tough for OBV Flem because he is already some villagers behind going up earlier. So he needs to finish that barracks, and now he's throwing down the stable as well. He's got an eye on these militia, keeping track of them. Oh no! This was not closed. There was a hill there. So this 2 villagers down for OBV Flem from this drush. That is really painful. This stable is going up. But at what cost? As OBV Flem is getting double bit axe now. Sending the boys back to work, queuing up the scouts. But gosh, that was Herculean. This drush, massively effective. I think OBV Flem might look back at this replay and think, you know, man, if only I had done some walling. I don't know much about Flem. Maybe he despises walls. He could probably take this fight with good micro, but he just wants to dance around and wait for another scout to come out. As his scout, initial scout, I believe, goes down. And Toota fighting it here. He's just buying himself some time. Doesn't want these militia to harass his villagers anymore. Oh no, kill the weak one. All comes down to micro. Scouts do attack faster than militia, and he does clean that up. It costs him 2 and almost 3 scouts, but he does clean it up. So now the question is Toota going to be fully walled or walled up enough to where these scouts will be unable to do damage? I think the answer is no, because I think this is open. But we will see, as OBV Flem will surely push out once he's got another scout, perhaps. OBV Flem putting down some farms. He's got horse collar. He's Mongol, so he's able to take the food from that hunt super quick. And this big lump sum of food starting out, which is really good. Okay, no, he is waiting for more scouts. He should know he doesn't have much time. Toota is working on the wall here, sending a spearman and an archer over. So Toota, he has an archery range up, so it's drush into archers, it looks like, from the Tatars. He's got a blacksmith foundation fully, or not fully, but partially built, so that would make this section completely walled off. I think Flem's only option is maybe this over here, which I think is a hole, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Flem is starting to push out across the map now with scouts. And is he going to... Is Toota going to see him? No. Did he see Toota? I don't think so. Okay, Toota fighting off a wolf here. As Flem is looking for a way in now. He's got scouts at Toota's base. I don't think Toota's going to turn back, though. I think Toota is going to pressure this wood line right here. Both of these wood lines are forward, which I think is a mistake from Flem. As he has a range of his own coming up, probably for skirmishers. But he does react quickly, he pulls these villagers back, so good reflexes. So Toota has killed 2 of Flem's villagers. Flem has not gotten any economic damage in. But yeah, Flem seeing these 2 spearmen and saying, look, I can't make enough scouts to deal with those spearmen right now, so he's putting up a range of his own to make skirmishers to deal with these spearmen. But he's kind of on a timer. He's got to get them out before these military units find the rest of his eco. So he's just found some... Toota has found some of OBV Flem's sheep. He has split them up and he's sending them off into the corner of the map through different paths so that Flem can't find them. Maybe he'll take them later, who knows. Flem coming back with his scouts. These villagers, he's pulling them, trying to avoid the damage here. Is he going to lose another villager? I don't think so, actually. These archers do have fletching, but he just barely manages to save it. That's really good for him. And he can fight this spearman. It's just 1. It's never ideal fighting spearmen with scouts, but now these scouts are going to attack the archers. He's not careful. With the proper micro, Blue could actually win this. Blue instead trying to kill a villager here, but not succeeding. The skirmisher is out and helping. Okay. So Flem at least got some value out of his scouts. He fought off Toota's military. It looks like Toota has another wave here, a slightly larger, 7 archers this time. But Toota is more interested in the castle age at this point, so there was a little bit of feudal aggression here. I don't know if Flem ever tested this as an opening. It's not clear to me. And I don't know what he's going to do with these, if he's going to attack, or if he's planning on upgrading them to crossbowmen as a second range comes down. So I do think Toota is planning cav archers at some point. It would make sense for this map. Flem coming forward with the skirmishers, maybe to peck at this forward wood line. Did he scout that earlier? See what his scouting tells him. Yeah, he knows about it. He knows there's a lumber camp here, so these skirmishers will harass the villagers a little bit once he moves them into position. As Toota is patching a hole here in the wood line. So we got a stable now coming up for Toota as well. Flem is on his way to the castle age. So we saw Flem go scouts. I really do think that had things been a little bit different, like had this area been walled off, this barracks not denied, and had the militia not been able to do the damage, you know, had the scouts been created and ready and just sort of the militia were loitering, waiting to get into the villagers as the scouts were then created. You know, I really do think there was potential for Flem to get in here and do some damage. And it looks like Toota is re-walling this. These scouts are just keeping an eye on what Toota is up to. Okay, so he is investing in crossbowmen. Alright. So crossbowmen for, I think it was about, yeah, 7... No, it looks like it's 9 archers and 2 spearmen. So he's getting bodkin as well. So Flem is tracking this. He knows it's coming. He's pulling the villagers off this lumber camp because he knows it's not going to take Toota long to get over here and start killing villagers. He's going to have to evacuate this lumber camp as well. And there it is. He'll have to evacuate his gold too. He'll have to come over here to this side of his town and hope that he can get Castle Age in time to deal with it. Good news is he's got the res for knights. So we'll see if he makes them. He does have 2 stables down. No, okay, it's a siege workshop immediately, which might be a better choice, honestly. But he does have 3 knights in queue, so he's got a siege workshop and he's got his gold went into making some knights. So these crossbowmen are now looking for damage, so Flem is going to go back out on the gold, hoping that he can afford some more gold units that are required to take down these. Not required, but ideal for taking down these crossbowmen. So these knights only have the first armor, so these crossbowmen have bodkin. The knights will not be that effective against them. If these knights had +2, even 3 or 4 of them could probably clean this up. But they only have +1. As a villager goes down, 2 more villagers. Flem is not paying attention. So these archers come and Toota has gotten 6 kills now. Flem pretty much has to take this fight. Not ideal for him, though. He's running away, dodging it, buying himself some time. Flem is in trouble as he calls the GG. GG, well played. A quick match and a decisive win for Toota. I think Flem's primary mistake was making these lumber camps forward and not trying to wall up more in a map that was very clearly, easy to wall. Mostly. He had houses here, sort of like in a pattern. Could you imagine if these houses were like in a line over here with a couple palisades? So Toota was able to get in and do a lot of damage early on, and I don't think Flem ever recovered from that. He's taken off of gold and can't even afford a mangonel. So we're going to move on to Flem's home map now. Which is Akio. Alright, so welcome back everybody. We got OBV Flem playing as the Britons and Toota playing as the Huns. So on Akil you start with 2 houses here, so you don't have to build houses in the beginning, but Flem has chosen to build them anyway. Toota has not built houses because he is the Huns, so he does not need them. So let's see, Toota is scouting these spearmen. These spearmen are very scary. They're pirates. They live on the beach and they protect these trade workshops, and they prevent players from controlling these trade workshops before the feudal age, really. You need archers to take these spearmen out. Cavalry are not going to go anywhere near these guys. They've got 12 attack. The scout cavalry is looking for the sheep. The recommendation for the players is actually, since you start with some wood, some extra wood, and you can make sheep at the mill to make some sheep, and actually go find a peat farm. A peat farm is worth 2.6 villagers on wood. It's the primary source of wood early game on this map. You get wood simply for existing. You get 2 villagers equivalent of wood simply for existing. And then each peat farm is worth 2.6 villagers on wood. And then each of these trade workshops is worth 2 villagers on wood. Now, your wood income from these peat farms doesn't change depending on how many you control. So if you have all of them, it's the same as if you had only one of them. As green is going to claim this farm, so that green's wood income will now increase dramatically from that. And the reason that this number is 2.6 actually is because 4.6 villagers. 4.6 villagers on wood is how many you need to sustain constant fishing ship production from one dock. We see that Toota has a dock already. I think this is smart. It'll be a great source of food on this map. You can make sheep, but there's fish, and it's free food out here, and it doesn't rot. So OBV Flem, let's see, what's he up to? He's got 305 wood. He has nothing on wood. Toota only has 2 on wood. Oh, yeah. Toota building a lumber camp here on these cosmetic bushes. You cannot chop these bushes. They are not interactable by villagers. The only thing you can do with these bushes is flatten them. Hey, Sam! I was trying to lumber camp those decorative bushes to the northeast of my TC. I forgot about making sheep. Well, I think this dock is going to do really good stuff for you, Sam. But, yes, this is unfortunate. This lumber camp. I almost did actually make these bushes so that you could collect for them. But I just couldn't, I couldn't convince myself that it would be fair. Because sometimes players would get a very small amount of bushes, and other times players would get very large amounts of bushes. So I said, well, with all the wood income that you're getting from other places on this map, probably don't need to have a safe wood line back there. So all the wood lines are unsafe. But these reeds will regrow if they are cut down. But, I mean, look at that. It's just a terrible wood line, right? So Toota is bringing these sheep in. He controls this farm. Now, you can actually, these farms have half the normal amount of health as farms. OBV Flem's stealing the sheep. Nice. Flem wants Britons because Britons take sheep faster. And Toota wants Huns because, hey, don't need to build houses, right? Think of all the wood savings you can get. And Huns are just insane on open maps. Their stables work faster, so they can go, you know, they can make scouts quickly. These outposts have extra vision, so Flem is going to see Toota coming in here. Both players doing a good job staying away from the spearmen. If this were Tech Chariot, I would have lost my scout within first 30 seconds, I'd say. Scout would have gotten over there and gotten hit by these pointy boys. The reason these pointy boys have so much attack is because if they didn't, Mezzo Sibs would just run over here with their eagle, and the eagle would kill all these spearmen and then take the trade workshop, and I didn't want that. So Toota is heavily on berries now. He's also fishing heavily. He's got a lot on wood. He has just gotten a loom, and he is clicking up to the feudal age on 27 pop. So this is telling me maybe Toota is planning some sort of FC. Yeah, okay, here come the gold villagers. So this looks like an FC from Toota. Is he going to get away with it? Flem is headed to the feudal age. He's going to be there slightly faster. Flem is headed up on 20 pop. So this could be like a really fast archers build without like the need to go on wood as much because of all that free wood income. Or it could be maybe scouts, who knows. I mean, archers would make sense for Britons. Flem lost his scout to spears. I haven't seen it, but I wouldn't doubt it either. Let's see if we can find... Oh, I can't see it. So we've got another house coming up for Flem. So the gold, you know, it's kind of funny. Akil is the wild card map. Like, Akil is the map that nobody knows how to play because it's so different from the meta. Like, there is no other map out there that has all this stuff going on that Akil has. So it's just kind of a crazy map. Okay, as Flem reaches feudal age, and we've got an archery range. Okay, it makes sense because he's got a lot on gold. So he's probably going to go maybe FC into crossbows, archery range, and a blacksmith. Yep. So both players going FC. That is an interesting choice. I've seen all kinds of stuff on this map, honestly. When we were watching Ben Gudi and Shikso, it was man-at-arms. It was crazy man-at-arms with those guys. But these guys are saying, I don't have time for man-at-arms. We're gonna go FC here. Toota is just barely waiting for the wood here to build a military building of some kind, would be my guess. Town center is still making villagers, so he's doing well on food here. And there it is, an archery range. So both players are going archers of some kind. For Toota, it's going to be cav archers. I think Toota wanted to go cav archers last time. He didn't get to. So he says, now I'm going to do it. as Flem is finishing up fletching here. Both players could click up pretty soon. Toota already clicking up. And I don't know, I almost think fletching was a mistake, but he's canceling some archers, and I think he's going to click up now. He's got the buildings. Come on, Flem, click up. He's got a sense that he hasn't seen anything from his opponent. It's minute 12, and you've basically got 4 free villagers on wood. So if your opponent hasn't sent anything to your base yet, chances are that he's up to no good back there. He's planning your demise as Toota destroys Flem's peat farm. Ouch. It's like killing 2.6 villagers on wood right here. How did I miss that? We actually saw lots of peat farm sacking in Benguti versus Shikso. It was quite entertaining. It's Toota dodging the town center fire. So another sheep pops out of the mill here. More sheep are in queue. And I don't know if Flem realizes that you can dock on this map. You guys would not believe how many times I've cast Akil and like one player builds a dock and the other doesn't. Maybe it's maybe it's not in the build. Maybe it's not in his cards. Maybe he knows and says, I need my wood somewhere else. I'm going archers. So he's got a really forward lumber camp. Flem loves his forward lumber camps, I'm finding. So we've got a couple military units here. Against what Flem has, I don't think this can win, but it'll buy Toota time. Toota almost got the res to go to Imperial Age after this. Look at that. Nothing on wood. Sea reaches Castle Age, getting the armor. I don't think he's going to get crossbowmen. These units here are just a distraction. I think it's going to be cav archers, if I had to guess. But Toota does not have enough on wood for cav archers. Now you can rebuild these farms. They actually respawn. And so Flem could come over here and build one, or Toota could actually come over here and take it to make sure that Flem couldn't. But Flem isn't that worried about it because he's got this other peat farm over here. So same income between these two. So he doesn't need to rebuild it. I think it's free to rebuild it. I think this foundation is what costs money. As Flem fighting these skirms with Micro. We've got armor coming in for Toota. But Toota getting a lot of value out of those 2 or 3 skirmishers he has and 1 archer here. Keeping Flem from really doing much so far. Market coming up for Toota. Toota seems to be gathering stone. What's going on with this? Where's that stone coming from? A long-distance stone mining operation. That's where it's coming from. Toota is so broke he cannot even afford to put down a mining camp. Ouch. That's rough. He's got 10 on... Oh, no. No, don't. No, Toota. Picking a fight with these pirate spearmen, but these pirate spearmen are saying, hey, those are my reeds, punk. Get out of here. Toota just wants to bring in a little bit of wood. So, whatever Toota's build is, it looks like he's going to have to find a way to secure more wood early on. As it looks like Flem has destroyed Toota's peat farm here. Does Toota have another one? No, Flem controls that one too. And, no, okay, Toota has this one back here. So if Flem finds that, Toota could be really hurting for wood here. Okay, so it looks like Toota wants to go cavalry. And so does Flem, apparently. Flem is putting down a stable of his own. Maybe he's thinking a couple Britain light cav to deal with these skirmishers so that he can fight them more efficiently. So we got scouts out working on this villager here. Flem is going to have to bring his archers forward, but we've got scout skirm for Toota, and that's a pretty tough combo early Castle Age, late Feudal Age. So Flem is going to need an answer to that. Flem has 11 on gold, 7 here, and this doesn't look like he's expanded anywhere else. Oh, no, okay, right here. So he's got more on gold out here. As Flem is taking stone seriously, like he's actually invested the wood necessary to build a mining camp. So Flem wants a castle. Both players are very, very passive, actually. Oh, alright. I see. So the villagers automatically saying, hey, next to these pirate spearmen would be a great place to take wood after I'm done with these stragglers. These stragglers do regrow, but They don't regrow fast enough for 4 villagers or 5 villagers chopping them. I think maybe like 2 villagers. As Toota is victorious. Wait, what? Toota has achieved victory over Flem. It's like Flem was just having a hard time with the eco management here. But I think we can identify that Toota had some fishing eco, and I think that really helped him out. Flem was struggling for food the whole game, I think. And having to continuously make sheep it's okay early on, but maybe it was taking a toll on his wood, so then he had to go out to wood, so he had less wood. Some short games between these two as Toota takes a decisive win. GG makes sense with the score lead. Yeah. Especially if you didn't dock. But maybe he saw the dock afterward and thought, oh man, I wish I had docked. But good games. Good games. It's always a pleasure casting these sets. So this is the most decisive win I've seen so far, Toota. All the other sets I've cast have been really back and forth. But Toota had a good understanding of this map, I think, and it definitely showed. The FC was an interesting choice from pretty much both players. Alright, so with that, I'm going to end the stream here. We're going to do something different, but if I end the stream here, I can... Okay, Borellis is playing live if you want to spec him. I didn't know Borellis streamed. So I'm going to end the stream here. And I will add this video to my playlist of King of Ireland casts. It will make a fine addition to my collection. And then we'll go live again pretty soon for some more games with the lads. So if anybody wants to queue for ranked, looks like we had some discussion in the server. I think we're gonna queue for ranked here. We've got some of us are in the King of Ireland tournament. Thank you for the cast. Yeah, I'm looking forward to following you through the tournament, Toota, and excited to see what you'll come up with. It seems like you were able to finish these games off pretty early, so I'm curious about your late game decision making. I'm hoping that it'll be just as good as your early game decision making. Could make for some very entertaining games, so thank you. Alright, so with that, we'll end the stream here, and we'll do another stream in just a couple minutes that is same guy, but different content. We're going to be doing some team games, I think. So thanks to all who participated, and I look forward to seeing you soon.